Here again, had some streaming in, and I'm going to be doing the second race in my Formula 2 season with all of the assists off. Of course, I mentioned this in the last live stream, just it's a practice for me because I'm still kind of learning how to manage tires or even not keep locking up over and over. I did end up going to some Formula 1 races afterwards of the stream. Just like 5-10 lap races maximum. And safe to say, it is absolutely easier to or not lock your brakes up in F1 than it is in an F2 within the game, at least, in my opinion. So, once I get real good at it on F2 going to F1, it'll feel like a breeze. It'll feel like it's just a tad bit easier, which is nice. An issue on the last track that we raced at was at the Bahrain racetrack for the first race of the season in F2. I was locking up a lot in my front left tire. Degradation was double that of any other tire on the car. So, I'm going to try to do a little better on the lockups, not do it as much, and save that tire some more. So, as you can see, just going to do some practice, straight to the qualifying, then the race. But, we're going to start here on to do just a 1-2 laps just to really get a feel of the F2 car. Granted, I was just racing the F1s the other day, so just getting back into the feel and trying not to lock up. And once I feel good enough, I'm gonna do the race program, and it's gonna be just a judge to see if we're gonna have some decent lap pace compared to some of the other guys. One thing that I am doing differently during this race than I was in the other race is I am wearing shoes, which doesn't sound that crazy. Oh, son of a... Alright, well, off to a great start, but I am wearing shoes, but I am on steering wheel, and I am using a Fanatec DD Pro wheelbase, and I got the Fanatec V3 pedals and the GT3 McLaren wheel. And so I was racing on with just my socks prior, which is what I normally do, but after doing that long race, first decently sized race I've done in a while. Oh yeah, still locking up heavy. And my heel was done for it. Felt like I just smacked it harder than hell. Just could have been sitting on that metal and rubbing up against it whilst I was braking and whatnot. So I am trying to race with shoes now, at least. I'm kind of wearing a bulky shoe, which is not the best. Can't really feel the lockups and wheel spin as much, but I do plan on going to the store and just getting like some cheap thin shoe just to keep for the sim setup and that only. Wow, yeah, the lockups are pretty bad at the moment. I'll turn my volume up just a tad so I can hear it better. But the only reason I say it's going to be a little different is just because with the shoes, you can feel less, that's all. Oh yeah. I am struggling. It's going to take me a minute to get used to this. Change my brake bias, that should help. Forgot that I didn't have that on. The only part that sucks about these F2 practices is that we only have one tire compound to play with and get used to, and since I've been locking up hellas, that makes it more difficult because my tires get destroyed faster than others. As you tell, I'm definitely not being able to push my limits right now just because I don't feel the most comfortable with the brakes yet. I'm gonna go to the pit here, and I'm gonna do the race program and just see. Oh my god, struggling. Let's see how that plays out. Yeah, yesterday I was speaking about how I was sick. And today, or after the stream, once later in the night when I was ready to go to bed, I was struggling. Just the sickness was killing me. I had like this weird, felt like my muscles on my cheek was like being activated in one small section. And it would just flex it. It wasn't like it was cramping, it wasn't, but it felt like it was. And it was just killing me, and then it was giving me headache, and I couldn't fall asleep. I was up hella late just because of that. So, yeah, I'm still recovering. As you hear me sniffing hellas, or sniffling. I'm gonna have to go blow my nose maybe in the middle of the race here and there, but definitely is probably gonna affect the performance on that end. Just hope I can manage it and still perform. And hopefully we can have a better race than we did last time, because we were net P2, possibly able to fight with P1, and I made a stupid mistake. Put a little too much throttle on exit, spun and crashed the car.
Okay, mate, nice.
Finished that race in what, 17th, I think?
This is what's going to set our race strategy.
Trying to get as much slipstream as I could from him. Ooh, heavy lockup. That's a corner I'm really weary of because your front left tire can get smacked by that wall super easy. And on my actual career in the F1 cars, before I've been playing around with the ABS, I was on that for my last race. It was only like half a actual full race, but I smacked the shit out of that wall. Maybe about 12 laps in, destroyed my full left end, and I was out the race, which is unfortunate. I gotta brake harder there. really wide there. A little bit of a moment. Really. Bit of a lock up there. Fuck. Just trying to push as hard as I could still without sliding or obviously smacking that wall, but didn't work out. Could definitely find more speed through that section. Oh my gosh. I'm not being confident on the brakes there. Too scared of locking up on the high speeds, 2 hairpins. High speed braking, I guess I should say. I hear it, definitely gets me just like weary of it, as you can tell. Gosh. I need to keep my shifts consistent and stop trying new things that clearly aren't going to be working. Lack of downforce on these cars compared to F1s is crazy. I feel like I'm going to make a certain corner and just nope. Gotta let off a whole lot more. Pretty sure this guy's having a pretty decent F2 season at the moment, at least from what I've heard. Keep spinning on that corner. Overreacted there to the slightest bit of oversteer. Gosh, I'm really struggling on that corner. At least I'm keeping. Oh no, not at least. I'm locking up my fronts heavy, so I'm gonna move my brake bias just a tad bit more and see if I can get a little bit more justice with that. Let's move it down to 53. That's a big move, but let's see what happens. Oh, did not let off like I should have. Jeez. May have moved my brake bias too far back because that one definitely made my rear end feel like it was gonna go. Jeez, racing real scrappy now. I'm already gonna move that up real quick. That's rough.
Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers.
Alright, grab myself a water real quick, and we're gonna go into this qualifying. I don't feel that confident if I'm gonna be
Car
honest, but
repairs have set us back a
it's on practice. Not really enough, but we're gonna make it happen.
That concludes a really intriguing practice.
Keeps us up a second ahead just through practice, but qualifying should be a different story. Gonna be able to push these corners just a little bit harder with these softs on. So I'm gonna have to try to find that time and the confidence under braking. Alright. We're gonna have to try this one with 54. At least it's not a one shot. A little bit of front left locking there, I think. Sounded like it at least. Oh, two. I am getting a call at the worst time. Probably a buddy of mine trying to play some racing. Oh, that was close to the wall there. That puts us up into P1. So I am gonna be honest, I'm gonna head out for the stream just because I'm gonna go answer this call, and I know it's not gonna be just one quick short one. So, cause I gotta go do some other things due to that. So I will give y'all or I'll come back and I'll stream the rest of this. I'm only probably gonna finish this qualifying and I'll save the race for the live stream. But I will see you guys in the next one. Sorry for the abrupt stop.